Hello everyone, in this video we will learn about transfer of heat. So, have you ever observed whenever we are keeping any frying pan or utensil on the flame, after some time it became hot. And whenever we are removing that utensil from the flame, after some time it becomes cool down. So, why any utensil became hot and cool when we are keeping it on flame and removing it from the flame? So, the reason behind that, the heat is transferred from high temperature to low temperature. That means when we are putting the utensil on flame, the flame is transferring its heat to the utensil, and that is why utensil became hot. Similarly, when we are removing the utensil from the flame it is hot, it will transfer its heat to the surrounding, and that is why after some time it becomes cool down. So in all cases, the heat flows from hotter object to the cooler object. Now how does heat flows? So let's understand by an activity. So in this activity, first of all, we need a rod or a flat strap of metal. It may be of aluminium or iron. On this strap or metal rod, we have to attach small pieces of wax on equal distance. Then we have to hold it in a stand. If we don't have a stand, no problem, we have to take two bricks, and on between two bricks we have to hold this metal strap or a rod like this. So when we start heating the rod from one end, we will observe the wax which was near to the flame, it will start melting first, after that the next one, and at the last one will start melting. So in this way the heat is transferred from one end to another. So the process by which heat is transferred from hotter end to the cooler end of any object is known as conduction. And this conduction take place basically in the solids. So only in solid the conduction take place, and in this the heat will transfer from the hotter end to the cooler end. Have you ever seen the utensils? So utensils are basically made up of metals, and their handles are made up of non-metals. So why utensils are made up of metals and their handles are made up of non-metal? The reason behind that, the metal is easily transferring the heat, and that is why it is helpful in cooking. But whenever we have to hold that utensil, we need an material which is not allow the heat to pass through them, so that we can easily hold the utensils properly. So for that we need a non-metal, and that is why the handles of any utensil is made up of non-metal. So the materials which allow heat to pass through them easily are conductors of heat. Means if any material is able to allow the heat to pass through them, these type of materials are known as conductor. For example, different type of metals are basically the conductor of heat. For example, aluminium, iron, copper. So these type of metals can easily use for making different type of utensils, and that is why they are conductors. But the materials that do not allow heat to pass through them easily are the poor conductor of heat, and these poor conductor of heat are also known as the insulators. So plastic, paper, wood, these type of materials which are used for making the handles of the utensils are basically insulator, and just because they are made up of insulators, we are able to hold them easily and it will not harm us. Now, just because metals are good conductor of heat, so they are able to transfer the heat from one part to another. Water and air are poor conductor of heat, then how heat is transferred in water and air? So let's check out by an activity. For this activity, we need a setup like figure 4.9. In this, we need a round bottom flask, we need a wire gauze, we need a tripod stand, and a burner. So these things we need for performing this activity. Now first of all we have to take water in the round bottom flask, and after that we have to place 2 or 3 crystals of potassium permanganate inside the water at the bottom of the water with the help of an straw. without disturbing the water. Now, when we will start heating the flask, what we will observe? We will observe that the water molecules which was present at the bottom, it will get the heat and it will rises up. And whenever the water which was present at the bottom, it will rises up, the water which is present at the side, it will take its place. And again, this water will start heat, it will rises up, and after that the water which is present nearby, it will take its position. So by this, the whole water will start heating up, it will start boiling. So by this process, the water is able to transfer the heat, and this mode of heat transfer in liquid is known as convection. So by convection, the heat is transferred in liquids as well as in air also. Now, how heat is transferred in air? So for this, we have to perform another activity. So in this activity, we need a candle and we have to light it. And after lighting, we have to place our one hand above the flame and one hand at the side of the flame. So do we get the equal amount of heat in both the hands? So of course not. We will get more heat in the hand which is above to the flame and less heat which is side to the flame. The reason behind that, the air particles which are present near to the flame, it will easily get the heat and it will start rising up. And whenever it will rising up, then we can easily feel the heat in the hand which is above to the flame. But in the side, we are not getting the so much of heat. So by this method, the heat is transferred in air and it is also done by convection. So convection is basically present in liquid and gases. So that's all for today. Thank you very much.